Hello everyone and welcome to this Adobe live stream, this after Adobe Max live stream. I am Vincent and I have the pleasure to be here back to Max with Anna Natter. Hey Anna, how is it going?
Hi, I had such a nice day today, so thank you for having me today.
That's a pleasure. I'm in full jet lag, so it will be fun. We have a lot of fun. And we are here to talk about many stuff, especially around Adobe Substance 3D ecosystem, because you are one of the happy users. So before to start, maybe you can share your screen and we can see a bit to know about yourself. I think that's how we will start that. So let's introduce yourself to the world.
Hi everyone, my name is Anna Natter and I'm a 3D designer. About me in a nutshell, just a second. So some fun facts about me. I was supposed to be an art teacher, so that's what I was studying to be, but I did not really teach in a school or anything, but I have kind of a drive to teach some stuff to people. I've been working as a 3D designer since like 2005. My first job was at the news graphic team at a television station. I was working with virtual studios and real-time rendering software, and that was such an exciting time. So that's where my love for 3D comes from, basically.
Not that bad. It's quite full already.
Yeah. After that, I was freelancing and I was doing like all kind of stuff. Basically, I started to use the Adobe Dimensions since it was in beta in 2017. I just put this little picture here for you so you can see what was my first ever render in Adobe Dimension back in the day. So this is where we came from. Yeah, and
so cute.
And when Stager launched, I moved on to Stager, and basically I like to explore like everything in the Creative Cloud that is related to like material creation and like how can you combine the mobile apps and the other 2D and the 3D stuff. I have a couple of examples about my work that I created in the past couple of years. These are basically, some of these are from Dimensions and from Stager, partially textured with the Substance Painter, and some materials are from the Substance 3D assets, for example.
Just in case, if you have question for Anna during the chat, don't hesitate to use the chat, and we will answer when possible.
Yep. So basically, as you can see, you can create a lot of things with the 3D in the Creative Cloud. So if you want to follow me, this is how my Behance page looks like. So if you're curious about the details about all the projects that I've created before, you can find them on my Behance page.
Yeah. So you have like 8,500 followers. Let's see after this live stream how much you will have.
Aiming for 10K.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically this is what we are going to use today. I don't know if you have anything else to add before we jump.
No, I think it's going to be fun. Also, we wanted to show how you can use a product like Adobe Illustrator from Creative Cloud for graphic designer and enhance the project with the Substance 3D ecosystem. So yeah, let's go.
Okay, so these are the apps that we plan on using today. So Adobe Illustrator, Stager, Sampler, and some models from Substance 3D assets. This is a very interesting topic, why 3D is good for you. So I collected a couple of things that I saw that it's important for 2D designers to think about if they are, thinking about jumping into 3D. So I think like having 3D skills definitely give advantage to the designers compared to other 2D designers who have no skills for 3D or anything like that, because you can create like better looking presentations of a branding project, for example, and you can walk that extra mile a little bit faster. So you can just give that little extra to your projects and take your design to the next level. This is from my personal experience. I think it saves you a lot of time because I spent like half of my life browsing for mockups back in the days. So it did not really make me happy. So if you create your own mockups, and then you can basically have like more freedom in creating anything, and it's a lot faster, I think, after a while. And I think mockups are kind of boring, so it's like you just put your design on it, and then it's like but you have to compromise a lot, because I was always like unhappy with certain things. So either the crop of an image, or the lighting, or like certain parts of it was just not 100% the way I wanted it to look. So there is no more compromise basically if you create your own mockups basically. But there are also like a bunch of other uses for 3D, obviously. Easy to follow brand guidelines in the with the CC libraries, because you can save all your assets and the colors and everything into your CC libraries, and that also works in the 3D apps. For example, Stager, you can easily swap colors between like on a certain model. And you can create a lot more variations of the same asset, and you can present it to your clients, basically like pattern variations or anything like that, different textures. And this is a very, very interesting topic. Also easy to swap just elements of a certain thing if you create like branding for like branches or like different country specific. You don't need a photo studio, because you can be your own virtual photographer. So it has all its advantages. You can have this is very important, I think, that you can have people visualize things and they don't have to imagine it. So that was my experience, that when I presented my art or my designs on certain mockups, like 3D mockups more or less, that I created, and like everything was completely like brand specific on the image, they don't have to imagine how it would look like, because you can already like show it to them. And it resulted in always cutting rounds of revisions. So that was very beneficial for me, that when I started to do this, and it was a very like a high percentage. So I don't want to say like 100%, like they approved everything for the first time, but it was a very, very good rate for approvals for the first time.
Cool.
When I submitted something. Yeah, and the last thing is that basically 3D is the future. So I don't think that I have to explain this to you why I say that. Everything is pointing to this direction, that it's we are going to see like more and more of this in the future.
Yeah, and the future is already here.
Yeah.
Just before to continue, we have a question on YouTube. So just in case we are live streaming on Behance and YouTube, and it's ITZZ from YouTube who asked, do you have any advice for students who are progressing in graphic design or any media fields? So it's a broad question, but go ahead if you have any.
Jump into 3D right away if you're interested in it, and just don't wait. Because I was like 35 years old when I started to actually use the 3D apps like for my branding projects and stuff like that. So I was putting it off quite a lot. After I stopped working at the television, I did not pick up other like 3D softwares right away. So there was like a gap, a couple of years when I was working in video production, so like After Effects and other things. My advice would be that if you are like interested in something, like don't let anything like hold you back, and just jump into it and practice every day, because that is how you are going to have results. That's all I can say.
I would add to this, try to post on forums, Behance, to get some feedback. That's a good way to get constructive feedback from the community, from the pros, and they are going to see stuff that you don't see yet. So that's a good way to interact with the community. So,
and there is one more thing that I would like to add, is like tag your tools. So if you're using Behance, don't forget to tag all the tools that you're using. Don't miss anything.
If you want me to reshare, that's better.
Yeah, that's how people will find your amazing stuff that you create.
Exactly. So Anna, how are we going to do this?
So the plan is for today. I don't know how far we are going to get because it's quite a lot, but the The first thing is that we are going to create 3D models from 2D shapes in Illustrator. This is kind of like a creative use of design assets for a branding project. Then we are going to use them to create a scene in a Substance 3D Stager. And after that, we are going to jump into something very interesting, which is how can you use the same branding project to create your 3D materials that you can use in Stager on different 3D models and create your own mockups. The last part is that we are going to create a mockup scene using a new material. So that is the plan.
It sounds exciting, so let's go for it.
But what I wanted to say about what I created in this project, I used this design from Adobe stock. I did not, before anybody think I did not create this, because I just love this. I just loved everything about it, the shapes and the color palette, and I saved the colors into my CC libraries. So that is how I ended up with these shapes. You can also draw your own, obviously. You can be totally free. So let's go, Taiho. So this is Adobe Illustrator, and I opened my pattern that I created. I just mix and matched all these elements that I found on the Adobe stock, and these are the shapes that I have. As you can see, I saved all my assets into a library. I also have a logo that I created from this project, and like patterns and graphics and the colors. So this is how you can keep your assets together. How you can create 3D models in Illustrator? It's actually very easy. We have a 3D materials panel that you can open. You can find it here in the windows, like you can find all of this in the windows. The other window that I always open is this asset export. This is new in Illustrator, so it was a little bit different a week ago. So if I'm a little bit clumsy with this, just forgive me. So this we have. Yes.
And the 3D material, I think it's 1 year old or something like this. It was last year, no?
Yeah, it's also not too old. But this whole asset export panel, I think this is newer. This is different than it was before.
Okay.
So you can choose from different types how you can extrude a model. I'm gonna just zoom in a little bit. So let's start with this one. And you can choose how the depths, how do you want this model to look. You can turn it around. You can also choose from the presets how you want to view your model, like front side. I think this is the off-axis front. This is it's good enough for us to see. Sometimes I always turn around the model to see how it looks from other sides. And bevel. I really like to use bevel. I always put a little bit of bevel on every model because like crisp shapes are like, yeah, it's kind of okay. But in 3D, if you have a little bit of bevel, the lights are breaking a little bit nicer. So I think it's a good thing. And you can also bevel both sides of the same model. So here you can see, if you turn it around, that there is bevel on the other side as well.
And this is actually we are in Illustrator, of course, but this is actually at the end, it will give us real 3D object, right?
Yes, absolutely. So it's basically, it only depends on your preference, how you like it. I sometimes play around with this, the width, that it's a little bit more crisp on the sides. So yeah, I basically like this one like this. I like to create these bubbly shapes with the inflate. Inflate is like a completely different type of extrusion, I would say. So now you can see how cool this object looks.
Nice.
Yeah. The objects with curves in it, those are obviously really, really cool. They turn out always really cool. So you can basically go and just decide about if you want them to have the same depths or you want to have like different depths.
It looks like baby toys kit.
Yeah. This one is just like extrude, for example. There are different like bevel shapes that you can play with, and there is also like repeat, so you can just repeat the steps if you would like to use them. So you can just play around with this stuff as much as you want. For this project, I did not really use this, but you can just do it if you want. This one is one of my favorites, so you can just inflate it. And look what you get. It looks just so cool. It's going, yeah, in 3D, it looks really interesting. And these kind of shapes could like give very interesting results. Like, look at this.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, if you are an Illustrator user, you know how to do these shapes. So it means that it's super easy to get these kind of 3D shapes.
Yeah, you can basically also draw anything you like and just extrude them.
It looks like two kidneys with the hole inside. Why not?
Kidney beans.
Yeah.
So I always change the color. So sometimes when I have like a black shape, I always change the color first to something else, because if you would color it like black, you cannot really see the shape. So if you have a logo that is black and you want to turn into 3D, like it's better if you put some like different color in it on a shade of gray, because then you will see the shape a little bit better.
Cool. There is Carol who has a question. I think we don't have the answer, but still. Is Adobe getting close to having the front, back, and bevel be textured separately upon export? So to me, the answer is I don't know. I don't know if you get some more info, but I don't think so. But that's a good feedback actually. If we can separate each sections our export, like putting a different ID or something like that, that could help.
Yeah, that would be definitely interesting to change but basically you're only showing like in the render, just maybe for now, just one side of the model, so you cannot really show the back side at the same time that much.
Yeah, maybe in Stager there is a way we have like a magic wand, so there may be a way to select, but that won't be as clean as you would like.
No, I don't think. Yeah. So these are the shapes that we come up with. For example, very interesting. Just put the bevel on it. Yeah, round bevel. Sorry guys, I'm obsessed. But like there are other, like of course there are some very fun looking bevels like this one. This is also very interesting. But for this, I just wanted to, like just focus on the main shapes and just keep everything the way it is, without changing it too much.
How do you take inspiration for the colors in general? Do you have like some mood? It depends of the day.
I have to confess. So when I see anything that I like, I steal the colors. I use Adobe Capture and I save the colors. Whenever I see like a photo or anything that inspires me, I'm jumping on it and I save it for later. So you don't want to know how many colors, like how many stuff I have in my CC libraries saved. This color palette is from I mixed two color palettes together that this creator used on Adobe stock. So that's where I came up with this. But I think it's just whenever you see something that you like, just feel free to save the colors and download Capture on your phone, like right now, and start using it, because I think honestly it's the best way to quickly save your colors. I use Capture a lot actually.
Yeah, that's super handy.
Also for other things, not just for colors, but like anything else.
Yeah, we actually made a collaboration with the Adobe Capture team, and right now to capture material is based on artificial intelligence, so it's way better and more accurate. So just try it. You take a picture, and it converts it automatically in a material.
Looking forward to that. I think I forgot to bevel both sides on quite a lot of models. Yeah, that's how I am. I always forget to do that. And I have to go back and just...
Yeah, we'll give them the feedback to put it by default. It would make more sense.
I don't know. I mean,
No?
actually, if I just think about it, yeah, that would be actually useful. But it depends on how people want to use it.
Please vote in the chat. Should we or not put it by default?
For me, yes, please.
We won't necessarily listen, but that would be interesting.
I don't know about other people, but I bevel everything, literally. So this is how we are going with this one.
I think we're good.
Yeah, so these are the shapes we have.
Oh my
so
God,
now you can save it. Yeah, I like it quite a lot. So what you can do is that you can add your models. So if you open this asset export panel, you can add your models here, and you can go one by one, but you can also go by like groups, add multiple, and then it's going to load them into this export screen. I hope they are going to work out like this.
And everyone in the chat is agrees with your bevel addiction.
That's good to know. They're not alone.
Okay, so this way we can export this shape as a 3D asset, right?
Yes. Then you click on you just have to select from this drop-down menu object file, and then you
LGF would work as well, but OBJ is fine.
Yeah. So I always export in OBJ, and then you click on export, and then you can save it to a folder where you would like to. And I'm gonna put them here, live stream assets, and then it starts.
This is done live.
Yeah, and sometimes it goes black. Yeah, so it's syncing.
Yeah. you love the risk, you know. No fear.
It always comes back. Yeah. I'm gonna just quickly save a copy of this one to here, 3D. So now I have like the copy of this one. So now that we are ready with this, just a couple of words about what I saved here. So these are just the shapes. These shapes separated, and then I just add the graphic, so like this, and then I go to graphic, I select like all of them, and then they can work as a decal, for example, in Stager.
Okay, yes.
But should we jump into Stager then?
Yeah. We can start see how they look like into Substance 3D Stager, which is our staging compositing hub, where you create your scene basically, and you do your final render image.
We are going to create a new scene. I guess so. I wasn't listening.
What?
I was so busy with looking at what I'm doing.
I feel offended.
Repeat, please.
No. I was thinking I was saying that it's our staging on the rendering app. So basically, this is your virtual photo studio.
Yes. So when I import my models, they come in quite huge. So there's the they did not. Okay, before this it was quite big for me. But anyway, so with this button you can bring them up above to the ground, because when you open the app, you have a ground plane. So now you can see that there are shadows here, and then you can just switch it off, and then you have like nothing basically. But if your ground is activated, then you can just push it under the ground, and then you will have this effect. And you can see now it's snapping to the ground. So we have this little snap button here. And then you can select where you want to snap it, or if you don't want to snap anything, then you have, snapping is gone. But I really like it that you can just, stick it to the ground and you don't have to worry about it anymore. What do you want to talk about UVs? I know it's a hard topic.
I can explain quickly. You have to think about when we do textures and we paint on a 3D object, what we do underneath is we paint on an image. So an image is flat, so we have to find a way to unwrap the full 3D model, like you would do, when you have like the games that you just cut, like to make a cube. It's like a T, and you just fold it. So that's what we do. We unfold the model so it's flat, and so we can paint. So this is a bit technical. Generally, if you want to put some complex scene, you can say, okay, and there is no UV, you can put generate UVs. Sometimes the models comes directly with UVs, so you don't have to care about this.
Yeah, so usually when you export something from Illustrator, it comes with like good UVs, so like you can totally work with it. But this is a little bit advanced topic. I don't generate UVs for models that come from Illustrator because I just don't need it actually. Especially for this project, so when you are working with like materials that don't have like any kind of patterns in it, just like matte, then it's absolutely easy. When you start to work with things that have some kind of like patterns, like how can I explain it? Like for example, ceramic tiles, then it will show that these are the way they are not really connected.
Perfect, yes.
Yeah, but when you are looking it from an angle like this, then it's fine. So like, let's go back to default. So libraries. Now you can see that I went back to my CC libraries, and I just wanted to change the color of this thing, so I can just go back and switch to any color.
So it
and then it's went
imports
back to
the
that.
colors as well. Interesting.
Yeah, it comes with that. When you create an object, it comes with an MTL file. So if you don't know what is an MTL file, that is the texture, like the material information that comes with it. That's why you always get two files when you download them. So we are populating nicely. We are almost halfway with everything that we wanted to do. But we promised you an explosion, so that is what you're going to get.
Yeah, there is someone who say +1 for no UVs workflow. So yeah, we would all dream of this. So far, in many cases, we don't need them because right now we have what we call a triplanar projection, which means that we project the material on the three
here you can see
angles. Them. Yeah, exactly. Which means that it can work, especially for organic shapes like rocks, wood, etc. It works well. If you have to be precise to paint an object, well, we have other tool for this, like Painter. But in that case, yes, you would need UVs.
Yep. We are almost there, you guys. Just a little more patience. So these are actually shapes that I created earlier. Another confession. And I try to keep them the same depth, so like they are somewhat similar to each other in the way they look, but it literally depends on your preference. Okay, last one. This is our favorite, this little, I don't know what to call this.
And Kyle say, or be procedural and use Designer. Even in that case, you will need UVs. Yeah, especially if you create materials, because they are based, what they do at the end is generating textures. But still, it could work in many cases.
So there is one more thing that I created for this project that I wanted to show you. And basically, you can get creative with this Illustrator thing. So this is a backdrop that I just literally drew a line and just extruded it. And then I have a backdrop for my project, like a kind of like an infinity background, I would call it.
Yes. It gives a smooth shadow and lighting. Yes.
Yeah,
Nice.
and you can add the camera. So when you want to like frame your project, I think it's better if you add the camera and then you decide about the crop. I always do it very early on in my project because it helps with my composition, and I think it's just better like this. And the focal lengths you can choose like how you like to go. I really like this kind of orthographic.
Oh, okay.
View.
So yes, like.
Yeah. So when you don't have that much perspective.
Yeah, big zoom.
Because we have something called depth of field, and I use and abuse it all the time. So I just set my focus point, and then I just pump it up, and then you can see that the things are blurred in the background. And this really helps with like create realistic renders. Oh, I'm dragging my background as well. Which one is the background? Yeah, so as you can see, we are almost kind of there that I was showing you before. If you don't use this, you can also change the background color. And then, like, for example, you want to do the red, and then you also get this background. But I like to block out some part of the environment light, because I don't know, it kind of like, it makes everything look a little bit more real, because there are, in real life also there are objects around and stuff like that. So, and it also gives a little bit of gradient for this, just a little bit of gradient. And you can also play with this material tab, you can find the roughness, for example, and then if you change it, then you get like reflections on this ground.
That's cool.
Object.
And by the way, if we are able to simulate all this depth of field, reflection, refraction, etc., it's thanks to a technology that we call raytraced, that really simulates how the light behave in a realistic way. So we can simulate we can simulate any kind of realistic render with this technology. That's the small selector on the top. It's called ray tracing. So you can either deactivate it and it's faster in the viewport, or when you activate it, you have the full effect of a final image, and it's extremely fast. The one we have is extremely fast.
Yeah. This little thing here, this circle that you have, basically it works like a magnet, that you can just magnet your, like, just stick your object to other objects. So you can like very easily stack like Lego puzzle things together with this little thing. Or you can, basically lift up everything manually and just make everything fly. This takes obviously this takes a little bit more time to place everything. I'm gonna do it quickly.
If you have any question in the chat about Stager, don't hesitate. We are here to help.
So let's say that this is my main logo that I want to focus on, and I will try to place the things around. It's basically just building some kind of composition that you have in mind. Yeah, these things export as a folder. So if you want to move things in a folder, here you can turn on the group select, and then it will immediately select the things that are grouped together. So if you don't use this, then you will just select one piece and then you can just move everything by accident. Sometimes it's useful. Yeah, it's very useful actually. Oh, there is one more thing, by the way. If you select like multiple models and you want to align them, we have something here called align. And then if you double click on these little things, then they will align your models and you can just pull them. You can change the way the gizmo is behaving. So if you want to use the word space, then you can also do that. But if you want to move the object with its own axis, then you can also do that. So in this case, maybe this is better, just to find a placement for everything.
So we have Frosty from YouTube who asks if Stager can export video at this time. Sadly, the answer is no at the moment. It's just still images. But this is something we want to bring at some point.
Yep, so there is one more thing that maybe it's better if I show you. It's called collision. So like when you have two models and they both have collision activated, then if you pull them closer to each other, then they will start to react to each other. So like this is a physical, maybe you can explain this. It's the physical simulation part of things.
Yeah, so basically, first by default, if you take an object, it's a 3D object, but there is no physical law. So if you move it, it will directly go through another one. And sometimes when you want to, for example, put pencil into a glass or something into a tube, you want the collision, the object to collide. And so we made it really easy to do it, to place objects. So you can take a parallel object, move them down, and they will try to interact each other without any intersection. So it's really an efficient way to place model.
Yes,
even on the floor, you can just drag and drop on the down, and it will work. It won't pass through the ground. Just try it.
Almost there.
This is beautiful, Anna. You are doing great.
Oh yeah. Maybe I selected too many shades. Like, you know, which one you leave out. You know, so like.
And just at the same time, like... yeah, there was Alexander who was asking, Anna, do you use collisions to move objects sometimes? But as there is a 30-second delay, I guess, between us and the chat, well, I think we have answered.
Yeah, we can do that as well. So that is also an option, definitely. So let's say that this is something that we have. Maybe I put just a little bit in the back. This one as well. So that let's say that we want to focus on this model in the middle, and we can just go to this object tab and set our focus point on this one, and then let's see what happens. So like you can see that everything that is in the back, they start to get like blurred out and in the front. So like all our focus is on this model here.
And this is 3D, it's really stuck on the object. So if you move the sand, you get closer or further. I think it keeps the focus on the asset you have selected. No,
I think
yeah. So which is great. Yeah,
it's just fine. So like these are the things, and there is a lot to mention. So what I want to change is the environment light. So you can actually turn this around. With the shift and the right mouse button, you can turn your environment lights very easily. And then I like it when objects like cast shadows on each other, because reflections and shadows, basically they help with the plasticity of an object. So it's like for your eyes, it's better if it's there are more reflections and stuff like that to look at. That is the first thing. So you can also change the intensity of your light. Mostly I mostly change the intensity when I use another light source, because they basically balance each other out. So when I add the sun, for example, to an outdoor scene or something like that, then I change the intensity. What I really like to use, and basically what I do in like 90% of my projects, there is an environment light called Elevator Corridor, and I don't know why, but I just love this one because
Elevator, we all loved it.
it's just I don't know, it's just such a nice subtle environment light. And there are like little, you will see when we change the materials, and now we will start changing the materials. Now here you can see that we get like reflections if you change it. Like everything that has a little this bubbly surface works really well with shiny objects. Look at this, it looks so cute.
Yeah, one of the cool stuff is what Anna is doing is as any object has its own material, you can tweak afterwards. Like for example, she just changed the roughness to make it either matte or shiny or glossy, let's say. So yeah, you can control everything for new material. So this is called on physically based rendering, and there is different system, but mostly we separate in 4 or 5 settings to fix this. So we have the base color. So this is the easiest to understand: the blue, red, green, you name it. You have like the roughness that to define if it's matte or glossy. You have metallic to define if it's metal or not, because metal is really specific, so it has its own parameter. Then you can define if it's transparent, the index of refraction, and you can go really deep. You can almost recreate any kind of material like you would find.
Yeah, we will just get into the details a little bit later, and we will, I think, yeah, maybe
I just threw your presentation.
No, you cannot. So what I like to use a lot is the sampler tool. So like when you like, now I just changed the material on this little thing here, but I want the whole object to look like this. So I basically just select all the models in this folder, and I use this little sampler tool, and then they are all glossy now. So there is one more thing that I wanted to show you, and that is the glass. Should we show our favorite glass material?
Yeah, you should.
This is called beer.
Yeah, the beer.
The beer. So the beer is good because it already comes with an interior color.
Watch out, because if you say just the beer is good and people are cutting that, we'll have problems. So the beer material is good.
Yeah. So so now I made this glass object, but I want to make it a little bit more rough, for example, or I want to add metallic to it, and now you get this very interesting candy-like material. So you can literally like do anything with it.
Yeah, you can play a lot for a long time.
And I don't like this. Let's color it this beige color. And sometimes I just add like a hint of something, like a tiny bit of metallic can go like a long way with a glossy object. You don't have to go like all the way metallic with something. You can just add a tiny bit, and I've been experimenting with these things a lot.
We have Frank Payan, who is French, who is a French professional wine drinker. He asked if there is a bottle, a glass, or a can. So I think there is a can. I think there is a bottle. The developer may have a message to give to the world with all this beer material and glass and bottle. I don't know.
So here we go. So these are basically all the shapes that I created for this project. I'm just wondering, did we forget anything?
And when you see the noisy image like that, it's just that the ray tracing is calculating. So the more you leave without doing anything, the crisper and sharper will be the image. This is normal. And also we are live streaming, so I guess,
it's not
yeah,
live
it
streaming
takes
is
a
not
lot of
helping.
resources. It's
Yeah.
extremely fast in general.
Yeah, it is. So these are the shapes that we created. So if you switch off this environment light, and then you also turn on your ground like this, then you can see that. Let's change the background color like to this one, and now you have the flying story. So these are like they don't cast shadows onto anything. Yep. So all right, so we can just, I'm gonna save this. Just give me a second.
Oh. We just implemented autosaves in the latest version. Not that it crashes. That's not what I'm saying. But who knows? If you don't have any electricity, for example, that won't be the fault of Stager. No, but
yeah,
in production, everything can happen, so it's better to, that's a small feature that is always appreciated.
That is something we have to talk about, I think.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Our favorite things. So, Substance 3D Assets, my favorite shopping mall when it comes to assets. And I'm like, if you look at my assets, like I have like, I don't want to go on, but like I have like everything. I downloaded like 1 million things from here already. And so there are collections, and they are amazing. So, for example, the graphic design collection, this is the latest one, right? Latest one.
Yeah,
and
it's new.
There are a lot of paper materials and all kind of funny things that you can experiment with in your projects. And these are all like, you can change the colors and every, like a lot of parameters of a material. So these are like very useful for when you're looking for a certain thing.
Yeah, and just to say a little thing about this is one of the specificity of Substance material is actually that they are procedural or hybrid, which means that we mix 3D scan and procedural. What it means for you is that they do come with parameters, as Anna said. So it's not static. You can change mostly what the artist decided. Oh, cauliflower.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's a good one. No, I'm hungry. But it means they are not static. So you have, you have a lot of variation for each material. So right now, I think we are 16,000 assets in total. So for the material, you have to multiply by the almost infinite amount of variation, thanks to the parameters.
And a lot of, like always, a lot new materials come in. So that's the one thing that is like, there is just renewing all the time. And the abstract section, I'm obsessed. If you look at my Behance, you can see that these are the abstract models that I use all the time for everything. And we also have some plants. These are also very useful. And we also have materials, a bunch. For example, any kind of like ceramics or whatever you need for your interior design renders, because you can also do that. I did that a lot in the past. In Stager and also back in the days in Dimension.
Cool.
So materials, what we can, and there are lights, environment lights. You can also download from here, and then you can change the lighting. What is very interesting that at the Adobe Max there was somebody who actually shot these interior designs, and that he had a session of talking about the creation of these environment stages and stuff like that.
Yes, his name is Lionel. Yes.
Yeah, and he said something very interesting that it just stuck in my head. That basically virtual photography is like it's just a type of photography, so you have to approach it very similarly like you approach like photography in general. It's just stuck in my head that we have to have some kind of a similar vision about things like a photographer when we are creating something like a 3D scene, for example.
Yeah, and once again, they are not static. He made actually lighting environment with parameters, so you can just switch off and on the lights, open or close the curtains. He was really passionate for doing all this, and this is quite impressive.
Yep. So that's all. What else is there? I think that's all about this.
Yeah.
That I wanted to mention. So I think it's time to. Oh, there is one more thing that I wanted to mention. I almost forgot. So we have something called match image, and it also comes with Stager. So I went on a walk yesterday, and I just saw this picture of the fire station. So if you drag and drop this into the background, and then you just click on match image, and then you can see that it will automatically select the outdoor, like what kind of lights you want to create for this scene. And I said I think that outdoor sunlight is going to work, but it's always a matter of like practice. And then it will also set the camera output size to that exact image that you just dropped in the background. And now you can see that these things are actually in the same. Oh, I have
same
to
perspective.
Yeah. I have to turn on the ground plane so that you can see that they are in front of the.
Yeah, and maybe to diminish the depth of
field.
field.
Yeah. You don't even need it, I think, for this one.
Yeah. As the
so then they look like they are in front of the. Like this.
So if you see flying colorful cubes, now you will always have a doubt if it's real or not.
Yeah, so this is also something funny that you can try.
Definitely.
So this is not something we are not saving. So the next topic that we are going to talk about is material creation in Sampler, and this is also like quite a massive topic.
Yeah. And a cool one.
Yeah, we love Sampler. Oh, I love Sampler for multiple reasons. So first we are just going to create something from scratch, and then I will just go through a couple of materials that I created previously. I think that's better. So like I'm going to show you the simplest way how you can turn, for example, your patterns. For example, this one we are going to use.
Before to go further, we can maybe explain what is Sampler made for at first. So basically, to shortly, it's made to create resources to work in 3D. So when I say resources, it can be materials, of course. It can be also lightings setup, and and really soon you are going to show a bit models. And the funny thing is that the philosophy of Sampler is to scan the world, meaning that starting from a picture, or for example, you can create materials, or also from pictures you can create a lighting environment, and soon from pictures as well you can create a 3D asset. Of course, you can create materials from scratch as well, and you can modify the materials you have imported. But if we would say philosophy behind Sampler, I would say like scanning the world or virtualizing the world, whatever the name you want to give it, but that's the philosophy behind underneath Sampler.
And this is like I really love it. And the other thing is that it's super easy to use. So like you would expect that you will run into a lot of difficulties with when you're using something like this, but it's totally like drag and drop, and with the little tweaks you can go like really like a long way. So the preview sphere. Oh my god, this is my favorite thing to like sample a material on it. I have an emotional connection to this thing. So what we can do is that we can just literally drag and drop our pattern into. So how I studied it, from the assets panel, I chose this flannel material and I just drop it here to the layers, and now we have like this gray material that you can choose how you want it to look. Like there are other like properties that you can change, like this bordeaux something or anything, like different things that you can change, but we don't wanna use that. What you can do is that you just drop your image into the layer stack, and then you change the way that it's used, and you just change the base color, and then you already have basically here you can see how it looks. This is our little pattern, and this is the three. Yeah, and you can also turn around the environment light, so you can just check how it looks from the different lights on. You can select from multiple environment lights inside of sampler as well. When I create my materials, I always choose something without a color, like that doesn't have any color, because some of them have like a little bit of yellow tint to it, and then you can see that it makes it a little bit more like yellowish. And for example, you can go like totally crazy because this is like, you see that it changes your material, but you can see how it behaves with the different lights. So like, I think it's better to use some kind of like a basic studio light when you're creating something like this. You can change the tiling, but now you see that, okay, this is not what I want to see here. So you can add, here are actually like different filters that you can use. And there is the transform tool that you can use. And if you put it under the pattern, it's only going to affect your flannel material. And then you can see that it will just scale up. And it will be...
It's a bit like Photoshop, like it affects what is below. So if you put something on top, it won't be affected by what is under.
Yeah. Because if you go higher, for example, then you will see that, okay, this is how maybe it will look like. Maybe not this much, but like, let's make 7. So like thinking about a certain object, like a couch or a chair or anything, or a bag. So it's better to match the scale of the fabric, for example, to a real life fabric, how it would look, how you're imagining this whole thing for yourself. And so this is one of the things you can do. What I also like to do is that I always like to add some kind of dirt to my project, to my material, because the dirt is a very interesting thing. It will just sit in the little like cracks of this material. Wait a minute, I will just change it, the lights a little bit, like this. So now you can see it's a little bit too much, but you can make it like you can change it, and then you will see that it will only like sit in the little holes and make everything little like more realistic. Basically, when you're creating a material, everything is about like details and a little bit of imperfections. So that's what makes everything more real. So when you add like a scratch to some shiny surface or something, if you look at an object, there are tiny cracks on the shiniest surfaces. So that is what is important. And what you can do is that, should we show the expose parameters thing, do you think?
We can show it, yes, it's easy.
Okay, so what should we? Okay, so warm, the roughness of the yarn, maybe. So if you click on like right click and then you go to expose this parameter, then this will get this little blue dot, and it means that in Stager you will get a slider for it, and then you can kind of change between rough and not rough. So now that we have a material, I think we can go back to Stager and we can just start to build something.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, the cool thing is now this parameter will be accessible in whatever application that supports substance material. So you will be you will be able to tweak it anywhere you want, which is great.
So outdoor roll mattress. Okay, this is our new new best friend. I really like this model because there is like little plastic part, like there is these are also like fabric, and this little thing here is also something with plastic or metal, or basically you can style it the way you want it. And nowadays, basically every company, like fashion companies, they create like weird things, like weird looking bags anyway. So this can be like a bag. You can think about it like that. So I selected my main mesh, and then I go to sampler, and then I say that send to Substance 3D Stager. And if everything goes well, this material will pop up. Yes, here we go. And here you can see that the resolutions, like the resolution is not like high enough because I don't see the details well enough. So it might be that you can go a little bit higher and then you will see. And now here we go. So like this is the fabric material. And then we can change the, so like there are certain things that you can try with this one. Maybe I will make a copy of this. And let's add the camera, just like the usual thing. And let's add just a simple plane. So now you can see that we have like the same model, but we can like texture them differently. I'm gonna change the environment light, obviously. This also have a little bit of yellow tint, to be honest, but for now it's fine. So we are basically following our own branding, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you want to, you know, like be completely accurate with your render, then you can select something like this that doesn't have any color in there.
So yeah, basically we went from Illustrator to sampler to Stager, and with the help of 3D assets. So it really shows that you can really get into 3D without having to know how to model at first. You can really either use Illustrator, which lets you make 3D shapes easily, or rely on the Substance 3D asset, where there is thousands of 3D models which are available for you to use, and they are super easy to use.
The backs are really nice on a. I really like the backs.
Yeah, they are cool.
So like now I'm thinking about maybe I want to create another pattern with another color scheme of the same. So I feel like I want to change it to something else. So what I can do is that I can go back to sampler, and I can basically just drop another PNG exactly the way I did with the other one, and then go to base color, and then we have the same pattern. We don't need this one, for example. And this material is already in Stager, so if you want to use it, you can also go back. And now I'm going to select my other mesh, other main mesh, and just send this onto that other mesh. You can also export the material and import it like that. So there are multiple ways to work with this, but it's just so easy. So now we have that other nice material with a little bit of a fabric touch.
Make camping with style.
I need more lights, I think. Or is it okay like this?
Yeah, maybe. Or you can increase it, crank up the exposure a bit, but still it's good.
I think it's nice. I like the reflections here. And if you want to, you know, put something in the background that you don't want to work with the curvy backdrop that I just created, then you can just create something like this. Oh, I always forget that I'm in my normal camera, not in the viewport camera, and I'm just like going around and stuff like that. Oh, I lost my nice crop. Where is it? Oh, that's why you never do this. You know, when you want to test something, go back to your viewport camera and then you can go.
By the way, we have a question from Wade for themes, themes and knits, I guess. Would you build that in the model, creating texture, or build with other tools? I have my opinion. You may have yours. I would totally build them in the textures because it's way easier to edit. Yeah, so that's my take. If you do it in model, if you have to change, if someone you say, you know what, I want a double knit, double seam, you will suffer a lot to put that in the models. And it's so easy in Substance Painter, 3D Painter to add this that
yeah,
I would go with that.
Yeah, I think so.
You even have I think, is it a knit or Sue or I can't remember the name, but a filter that will put seams in the border of your UV islands, which means each UV is the part when we say what's in unfold, and it will follow each of the borders. So that's pretty neat to make them quickly.
So how should we? Basically, we can do anything with this. I want to make this red, so like this is going to be the red color scheme, I think. Oh, and I'm okay. I'm happy that I'm in my viewport camera. And I want all these like these parts have the same same color and the same material. So yeah, I think I like it like this. So now it's a tiny bit shiny. And like the buttons as well, you can also color match them together. And for this, maybe we can try, there is this one, nylon. I always forget this one. Yeah, maybe this looks good. So like this, and roughness, fabric roughness variations. So now we have this
Steve. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all. I'm just trying to do this.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So meanwhile, I have Steve who was asking, are the pattern files just PNG files, or you can use other formats with the invisible background? So for the pattern files, I guess you are talking of
the decal.
The one, yeah, the decal we created in you created in Illustrator. If so, to do invisible, it will be separate. You have to separate the two information because one will go in base color for the color and the other one in opacity for if it's opaque or transparent. So you could use this. You can make some. I'm just thinking out loud at the same time. In Stager, I'm not sure. I think it's better to separate them, like to make a black and white mask
And
that
alpha
you
channel.
put in the opacity. No?
Yeah.
I think you can create it in, maybe we can create it in Stager, for example. That could be an option. But still, you would need this black and white mask at some point.
So what I wanted to just quickly say that the same, so when you are using the sampler tool, this one, then it means that those models will have the same material because they are linked together. And then if you want to change it to a different color, you have to unlink them. And here you can, with this little thing, you can unlink them. And then you can immediately select another color, for example. So this, with this one, we are going to go with the red color scheme, I guess. Yeah. And then these, oh, just want to add one. And then break the link. Maybe dark blue, but it's really the matter of your preference and what matches your project. So, but I just wanted to show you what kind of elements, what you can do with this. And then maybe this one you can link together. So if you just drop a default material onto something, then it will already link all those things together, and then you can edit them at the same time, which is very easy. So I want these little buttons to be like all blue. I want them to have some metallic to them. Shiny. And now we just have to find the lights to show. Like here you can see that that they are like shiny a little bit.
Yeah.
Like this.
Meanwhile, there is Ty Alexander who reminds us that actually patterns can have opacity, and there is a filter in Sampler to allow a stitched emblem look. Yeah, this is a new one. Well, we made a new version, more exactly. So yeah, just for an image, it will make like a stitch emblem. It works pretty neat.
So yeah, maybe this is what this is maybe how we can present this. How does it look? Should we change something, do you think?
It's beautiful, I think. This is great.
Okay. I just wanted to show a couple of things that I created with Sampler, just as a, maybe just as an inspiration. I'm just gonna quickly save this. This is going to be pattern Glossy. And which one I will start with the last one.
Cool.
This one.
Oh yeah, this one, like, it looks like fabric.
Yeah.
With the close weave.
Yeah, it's called close wave. And with this, you can basically import your own black and white image, and this is going to create this kind of quilted, like kind of like this quilted material. I think it looks really fun. It looks like a jeans.
Yeah.
So this is one of the things that I wanted to show, that you can play around with this one. And then this one is just a basic material, also with the, it's called tiling. And with the tiling selected, then all of these things live here at the under the add layer. Basically, here you can find all of these things that we are mentioning. So you can change the tiling of anything, but I did not want to keep, there was this seam in the middle, so I was like, oh, no, this is something that I want to crop out. So then I went with this with the tiling, and I just cropped this out, and I ended up with this This could be anything like a pillow or a furniture or anything like this.
That's
And
nice.
then, yeah.
Yeah, you can play during hours with Simpler. There is so much possibilities.
Yeah, this is the same, but like a different one. But then I cropped this part of this image out, and then it turned into this very fun looking.
So you started from a picture, right?
Yeah, this is just an image, and I think this is the quilt material, so that you can put some quilt stitch on the top of your model, basically, and it looks like this. So I think this is all that we want to we wanted to talk about.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Maybe you wanted to show some tests you made with Photogrammetry. I don't know if you have them somewhere.
Yeah, I can show that. Oh, maybe I want to show something before. I'm just gonna quickly save this before. Maybe we want to go back to this scene. Later on, maybe we don't, but it's better to save it. Always save everything, guys.
Yeah.
Multiple times. Adobe Capture. Because I'm obsessed with this thing, that's the only reason why I'm sharing this. I wanted to make sure that I can. So these models are from Software 3D assets, and basically I went on a walk, and with my phone I shot these materials, like all of them. So this one, like you can, and when you create a material with Capture, then they will end up in your CC libraries in the library where you actually save them. So, and it's from this image. Yeah, and with Capture you can make it seamless. You can blend the edges, and then right away you can just drag it into Stager whenever the material uploaded to your Creative Cloud, and then sync to the libraries. And then you can basically change this. And this is also like a little material that I created with Capture. And this is just a wall. And also the one that you can see in the background, this is also like a wall material. I don't know how good you can see it, guys.
Yeah, it works well.
Yeah, so like literally with like a click, you can apply these things to your projects. So this is all about Capture that I wanted to show. And maybe there is one more thing that I can show you quickly. If we still have time, right?
Yeah.
So we have these tiny little food containers, for example. And if you save your artworks in your CC libraries, you can also apply them. Oh, not on the environment, on the cap. I did this like 10 times today, applying a decal
the Murphy law
to the folder where it does not belong at all. So so here you can see that this is how easy it is to apply something on a 3D model, and then you can color this one like that, and then you can go pink.
So this is an Illustrator file that you put, right?
Yeah, it's from Illustrator. And then, like, I want to link these two together. This one at the bottom, and then this one on the top. And this is really cute. Yeah, right in the middle. Okay. So as you can see, like it's like you just put a background, you add the camera, and then you put a background, and ta-da! So like, and let's say that I want to have like a pink material at the bottom like this, and then you can do it. So like no more like compromise that, oh, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have that.
You can choose the angle, everything.
Yeah, and what I really like to do is like sometimes I just go creative, and like you can find some stuff like this, for example, on Substance 3D assets. And sometimes I just like to put this in the background like this. Oh, where are we exactly? Here. This is like a table with some draperies. And here we go. Make it a little bit smaller. Like this. Oh. Yeah, group select. Yep. So basically I'm using the same things that we were using before. And if you want, you can also apply your fabric material on this one, or just the same as this material, for example. But like there's a little like playfulness in it. So when you set up your camera, that you want this to be in the center, yeah, okay, now it's shiny a little bit.
That's nice.
So like it's just a subtle something, but it's just not like. And that's all it takes to create a little bit more interesting background for your objects that you create. So right. I like to play with the shadows. Sometimes you can create like really nice looking stuff with this. So
this is nice.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. This we went through. Photogrammetry. Before this, I have to restart, I think, because I mean, I have the tendency to overpack my scenes with everything. So, you know, I'm one of those people push it. Yeah, it can still handle it. You know, like the video card can be. Oh, let's a little bit that. So let's start with the first one.
Yeah. So this is a version of. Is it Stager or Sampler that you're going? Okay, you are going to show the final set. Mm-hmm. So this is made with the version of Sampler that is not released yet, which allows to make what we call photogrammetry. So do you want to explain it, or I do, as you wish?
I can talk about how I did this. So here you can see this is a photograph. I went for a walk in the forest and I saw this funny looking mushroom and I was like, oh, this would be cool to be scanned. So I went with my phone and from different angles in a sequence, I took pictures of the models, like photos from, I don't know if you have ever like seen people like scan stuff, or if you have ever tried to scan something with your phone before, as like a 3D scanning thing. That now you have to take as many pictures as you can from every angle, from the top, like everywhere, and then Sampler can combine them together, and it will give you a 3D model at the end. So this is the this is the 3D model that you
which
can
looks
see.
like a photo.
Yeah, and if you look at the viewport camera, then you can see that I was cheating because this is just a part. So this is just a part of this this
That's
ground
actually
itself glass.
impressive.
Yeah, and it took me like literally like take the pictures. It's like ding ding ding, like it was like really quick, and also the creation of the model is simpler. With of course, the more pictures you feed into it, the longer it will take. So, and the nicer result you will get. But you always like cannot always take like 200 pictures of something. So I think it was like 40 pictures or like 30 pictures max. And then you can basically add, and it works like the same like the other models. So you can just add your little assets to it. Anything you want, change it here and there, and it works the same.
Yeah, that's purely impressive because photogrammetry is not some new technology, but we made it extremely simple to use. So you just take your pictures, you import them, and it almost does everything for you. So that's great.
I'm not like a professional model scanner. I did not really do this before, so it was the first time that I actually tried really scanning a model. Before that, I don't remember, like a few years ago, I have some like faded memories about that I maybe tried with something else. But and of course I've seen videos about how other people are doing it, but like I did not have the tools or the knowledge or anything to do it myself. But like, as you can see, it speaks for itself, I think.
Yeah. The result speaks for itself.
Yeah. So this is the final render, and and I can just show that you can change the lights. So like how many shadows you want. You can add some, like you can see it on the model maybe. You want to have some backlights or anything. So like it gives you like a lot of flexibility. I have like one more to share, two more to share. Should we play the same game?
Let's go for it. We have a bit of time. And Tysander asked, okay, early access I will take. It should be released really soon, so you won't have to wait a long time.
Oh, I hope so. Because I really want all my other friends who are not in the beta to play with this, because I think they are so excited.
So the first time I saw this one, I thought it was like a background, and yeah, you told me no. I 3D scanned the tree.
Yeah,
oh my god, this works well.
Yeah, it absolutely works well. So I went for the bottom part of the tree, obviously, with some leaves, and I was like, oh, this is gonna look super nice. So as you can see from the viewport camera, that I put just like a huge plane under it. So I was cheating, because you can take with the lens blur, yeah. And I created a material out of this thing with Capture, so that you can combine these two things together to create matching stuff for your photogrammetry model.
That's extremely cool. And once again, you use your smartphone. You didn't use professional DSLR. So of course, if you have a great camera, maybe the result will be sharper, but still, you can see the quality you can get with your phone, which is, in my opinion, mind-blowing.
And I think I added a sun. Yeah, here you can see that I have a sun object. So if you lower the intensity of your environment light and you crank up the sun, then you get like stronger shadows that are a little bit more like here, there you can see how it's moving.
Nice. Maybe you can, if we want to play, you can make the logos emissive. And you know how to do that?
Yeah, we have a material for that, right?
Yeah, or you can go in the existing one and change it as you wish. But yeah, you can use the glow. It will be cool, just for fun. Let's see how it goes. And you diminish the light. Okay, it's strong. And maybe remove the sun and the environment light just to see, just for fun, to give
you can
a
see
Halloween
that
spooky effect. Yeah.
This is so cool.
Yeah, it works well. Even oh my god, this is cool. You see, it reflects on the trunk, the leaves.
Let's make this one as well.
Yeah,
of
so
course
if
you
want
can
to make
tweak the light.
Yeah, Wade is saying, yeah, let's make it glow. So yeah, you see, it totally worth it. Halloween is on the way, so to make your spooky renders, that's perfect.
Yep. So you can't literally like do anything with this stuff.
Yeah.
And the last one, I think the last one is my favorite. So it started with this.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And
you went deep.
And I went crazy with that. Not really crazy, but like you can use your imagination. Okay, so I saw that this rock is literally next to kindergarten. Okay, so this one. So like there is no water around it, nowhere. Just like there is nothing like interesting about this. It's just literally next to parking lot, next to kindergarten.
This is cool.
Where I live. And I just added some water to it, and some of our little like branding elements that you can imagine, so that it opens up the little bit the opportunities. You know what you can do with this. So this is how it looks.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's you have a lot of imagination, because I would have passed in front of these rocks like 100 times and never thought about doing that.
You know, you kind of need it in this line of work.
Yeah. No, I have to. I will scan everything.
You should. Oh, I mean, it's so much fun. Yeah. Okay. You see that I was cheating because this part is just hanging there. So, but like,
that could be a good challenge. That could be a good challenge, actually. Like, just scan a crappy object and make it epic. You know, something like that. That would be great.
What I wanted to say about this plane is that why is it a little bit like, you know, if somebody was wondering why is this the water ripples, how I created that, there is a thing called normal map, and it lives here. So in your material panel, and the normal map is really a useful thing, because the normal map is this kind of bluish image. It has RGB information, right? So yeah, like it contains RGB information, but it gives kind of like it's just a visual trick. So it doesn't change the geometry right away. So it works just like a trick for your eyes.
Yeah.
Because the black and white, the bump map and the haze map, and those actually change the geometry, so they will like stick out like this. But the normal map is not gonna stick out anywhere. It's just for your vision.
Yeah, basically it tricks the engine, the real time, the rendering engine, by deviating the light. So it doesn't change the geometry at all, but when there is a rays that comes, instead of reflecting like a straight ray, it will deviate in a direction. So the colors are used to define these directions. So
yeah, and I always use the same. I created this map like once, and it's literally like I created it in Photoshop, because in Photoshop you can create like normal maps, and you can, you know, you can paint your own normal maps if you're like crazy about city like I am. So I went like with like a white background with like 5% gray or something. So like it's like a really, it produces like a really subtle change, maybe 10% gray. And then it resulted in this very interesting watery like surface.
This is awesome. This is really cool.
Yeah. So, and I just duplicate. I was also cheating again, because I just duplicated the same model twice and I just put them next to each other.
That's awesome. We pardon you for that.
You cannot see it because it's so depth of field whenever you can.
Yeah, exactly. With it shows that the composition is also super important, so that's great.
Yeah.
So I think we have spoken about everything, and I know we have seen a lot of stuff.
Maybe there is one thing that that we did
one
not
more
mention.
thing.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. It's the that I wanted to show the renders that I created for before
Oh,
with
yeah.
the same thing. The last part of the presentation that maybe we can go through.
Yeah, the power of an ecosystem is when pieces connect together. So that's what you are going to do.
I'm just gonna close this. You're not doing anything else in Stage anymore, right?
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Okay, so
we have 20 minutes, Anna, to talk about life, the meaning of life. So let's
this
take
is
our
the meaning of life,
Exactly. So basically, you used all that you have created to make like lots of variations, no?
Yeah, exactly. So I already went through this the same thing. We did not show the chairs, but like basically these chairs are on a Substance 3D assets, and you can just download insane amount of furniture, and then you can just put your branding on any kind of furniture. And you can see that it works like a prototype. So I could see that how this chair looks like with pink legs, how it looks with the blue legs, how it looks with wooden legs. So they don't have to imagine it. Oh, what do you think? Like Jonathan, should we make this chair with blue legs? Oh no, I think we should do it with the purple combination.
We all know that art directors never change their mind, but who knows, that could happen. So.
And they won't say that, oh, we have to send it back one more time, to see if we don't see this. I can't imagine.
Yeah, no.
These are these little zipper pouches. I really love this.
Yeah, on a nice terracotta floor, like plastic terracotta.
And I don't know if you see that, but all the little flakes are color matched.
Which ones? Oh, really?
All the little flakes in they are also color matched to the branding. So you can literally color match the flakes in your concrete to your branding project. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you are pushing it hard.
Everything must match. These are the little boxes. I've been playing around with this. Actually, I textured the boxes in a Substance Painter because of the tiling. So it's when they create this kind of the objects, they have the technology to wrap everything perfectly on a certain thing. I don't know, they put it in, like, I don't know how they do it actually, but like there are different ways of production to create this thing. But when you are working with 3D, like sometimes the projection is just not the way you want it, but like in Substance Painter, you can totally do that. So that's what happened with the little labels, and I had the lamp with lights and everything. So it's just the matter of your creativity. We did not mention that you can create 3D logos with this. I know it's like...
Yeah, you made it with Illustrator, I guess, or with
Illustrator, and then I extruded it and then sent it to, like, imported it in Stage, and then
I can do it, you can do it.
If I can do it, anybody can do it. Look at me.
No, but actually that's super interesting, because one of the things we try to promote, let's say for a while right now, is exactly that 3D has the reputation to be extremely hard, not accessible, that it's just pure techies that can do it. And it's true that for many years it was like that, because the tools were extremely technical. Now, like for a long time, let's say like 3 to 5 years, it's way more accessible. And we are talking about Adobe tools, but not only. Of course, it's important for us. And this is something we really want to cover, the full scope of levels for users that are just coming to 3D, to really advanced users. The Substance 3D is, for example, the number one texturing solution in the video games, special effects, VFX as well. And it's growing at a really fast pace, and many industries like fashion, product design, it's already really present in automotive, packaging, etc. So yeah, well, that's what I love in your presentation, is that you show stuff which really shows that it's easy and accessible, and then it's just a question of expressing your talent.
basically, I also have my thoughts about this, because it's not it's not like 3D is not complicated in a way. So like there are certain, like there goes a certain knowledge in it, like that you have to know, otherwise you don't know what you're doing. And I actually created a YouTube video about this once for beginners in 3D, that without learning the basics, you are not going to understand what is going on. So like when I talk about the normal maps, what is a haze map, what kind of file formats are there? So then there must be like a little bit of research before you start, throw stuff in Stager and just think about that, why it doesn't look the way that I want it to look, for example. So I think it's good to have the basics and go slow. And like whenever you run into a problem, just try to learn as much as you can about that certain topic. That's how I did it myself as well.
Yeah, I agree. And also to understand that we work in a 3D virtual scene and not in a canvas. So there is depth, and maybe it's good to spend a bit of time just understanding how to manipulate the camera, because that's how you see and work in your scene, in your project. So sometimes people just want to change stuff really quickly without being able to reach that stuff because they don't know how to move the camera. So it's a good habit to get use of it, which is new but not that complicated. But
no, it's not anymore. Yeah, and especially when I first started to use Dimension, that was my first impression back in the days, that oh my god, this is so much easier than anything else that I used. And that comfort also comes with Stager. So like it's also like literally like very easy to use, and you just literally have to jump into it and to go slowly, and you will be able to create like amazing stuff with it for sure.
And here you show some variation of the render, and this one.
Oh yeah, cool. Wait, I can go back. So these are this is the glossy tile. Glossy tiles are amazing. I love them. You can put it on anything.
And this is with the shape you made, no? This is the project.
It's on the backdrop, that I just put it on the backdrop because it's better to present stuff when there is something like a shiny surface, when there is a little bit of a curve on it, because it just shows better because of the reflections. And I really like this lace material. I just wanted to show you guys that it just came out so well. So just imagine that you put this on a bag or something. Oh, I like it.
That's really great.
The last thing that I wanted to mention is because we are talking about Adobe Max and how it went. And what it went well. No, I was a virtual visitor again this year, sadly. So what I really found funny is that we have Adobe Express, for example, and this is a brand new. It's totally brand new, right? At least I did not see this before.
Adobe Express is 1 year old, actually. It was Adobe Spark before, but we improved it a lot. So yes, it has been released last year, but it's quite new.
So the thing is that what I wanted to show you with this, that for example, if you're working for clients for like their social media or anything, you can I don't know if I can show it. Maybe wait a minute. I will show you guys if I.
We have time, so you can show.
I have to find it because it's somewhere in another folder, so it will take more time. Maybe you can talk about Express in the meanwhile. What is this and what?
Yeah, sure. So Adobe Express is actually an online service that we offer, which lets you easily create any kind of content for whether it can be pictures, image. It's really social networks oriented, so you can create images for Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, for stories, posts, etc. And it's really made to be easy and fast. So we know that if you're working to this, thank you, Anna.
We are not
Um,
there yet. Don't go away.
Thank you, Anna. It was a pleasure.
You know what? I'm gonna show this now because we are going to go into.
Thank you again, Anna. I will also. I'm like program. Yeah, so it's an easy way to show on social networks to do easy montage, easy video, also to convert. And the cool thing actually that Paul Trani showed that is in the desktop version. When I mean desktop in internet, but on a workstation. You are if you work it if you have some posts to schedule, you will be able to schedule them directly within Express and with a schedule calendar, etc. So this may be if you are not into this may be useless. But me, I'm working a lot with social networks, and the fact that I don't have to go to another tool to do that, it's kind of awesome. So you are going to create your asset here. You can even define your own branding, your own color palette, and create all your stuff directly here. So that's awesome.
Okay, so basically what I opened one file randomly because I cannot find the other one. Maybe I will. I don't know where they are. Okay. Okay, maybe this one. Yeah, so you can close the background. So if you render it with only the without a physical backdrop, only the background in Stager, then you can switch it off in Photoshop, and then you can export it as a PNG, and then you can use it for like those kind of social media posts that I was creating. So this is also very interesting. And we did not talk about this, but if you render from Stager, then you get like a material selection, masks, object selection masks, and then you can basically
Depth as well.
Depth, yeah. Depth is a little bit tricky with this one.
Yeah, because there is a blur in it.
The depth of field a lot.
But the cool thing with the depth is, for example, if you don't want to, if you have like a, let's say, weaker workstation, what you can do is, for example, not making the depth of field in Stager, and you can use the depth of field in Photoshop. With this, you just refer to this depth layer, and you can play and replicate depth of field directly within Photoshop, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's why it's good, because you can literally change the background like this, and then you can do whatever you want with it. It's really so much fun. So you can just play around.
Yeah, you have the full control. So once again, Stager would be like your virtual photography studio, and then if you want to continue once the image are approved, for example, the angles, you can still iterate with Photoshop that you know when you are used to. So that still work.
So here you can maybe see better the masks.
Yeah. This exactly the map that you are showing. Yeah, so the depth is cool. Here it's really really clear how it works.
On this side.
So yes, the closer the lighter. And for the object selection mask that you were showing, well, it allows you to make quick mask based on the color. So if you want, that's a way to select, which is handy as well.
Yeah.
Let me check. We have a question from Carol. Are there any videos on how to use that depth layer in Photoshop? Yeah, I think if you go to Photoshop Learn, I can't remember the website, but they do have this. I think if you go, it's in filter, and then you go to it's not lens correction, it's maybe blur gallery. Is it field blur? I can't remember which one it is.
Should
Fast blur, spin blur. Let's try. Let's see.
I never do this literally.
No, I don't think it's spin blur. I'm going to look while we speak.
Basically, what I do is that sometimes I just create a mask, you know, so like just mask out the front and the back side, and that is also something doable basically. But I don't really use this because I'm a 3D designer and I do everything in 3D, you know, that's my excuse. For everything.
Depth of field effect. They're showing layer, select. No, it's not there. They're like faking, but there is an option to do it directly. Yeah, sorry, I don't have it here. But yeah, it's one of these filters. I just... okay, using depth map. So let's see. Black, far black, depth map. Control P, blah, blah, blah. Depth of field in Photoshop. New tab. Image adjustment. No.
Okay. I think I saw a YouTube tutorial about it, you know, so you can maybe just literally try.
Filter, blur, lens blur.
Okay, and which layer? Like this one?
So, the one of your the one with the color.
One?
The one, the one with the this one. And then if you go filter, that's cool. We have time. We have time to fill. This
on
one.
a rasterize, or can it be a smart object? Or is it raster?
We'll see.
Filter, blur,
lens blur.
And then?
And now there is an option to. It will ask you for the source, and you have to say layer mask. I think. You have to define the. Okay. You have to define
How can you define it?
Actually, you have to select the other one, convert it as a mask. Yeah. Here there is no mask. It's because there is no layer. Yeah, exactly. So you would have to create a mask based on the depth layer. So this is possible, but finally we had too much time, and now we won't have enough to show it. So just take the depths, convert it to. You can convert it to a mask. I say to the audience and not to you, Anna. But convert it to a mask for the rendered image. Just do it. Yeah, but actually it's fast. It's faster. So if you have a weak configuration, it could help. And then once you do that, it's a filter, blur, lens, blur, and it would work. I'm just looking if there are some questions. We have 5 minutes to stand with you guys. Where are we here? Is it just for first selection like the other layers? It's Carol. I think she was talking about the ID map. Yeah, at first it's the ID maps are made to select elements of the image for sure. Then if you find another use case, you can. But the colors are random. It's not based on anything. So they just made sure that each one has its own color. So we have 3 minutes. So if you have question for us, don't hesitate. What I can say on my side, I don't know if there is some stuff. Adobe Max was great. We announced the version 1 of Adobe Substance 3D Modeler, which is our modeling tool. So this is another cool tool that we didn't show today, but super nice.
That's going to be my new playground, actually.
Yeah, actually it's nice. It allows you to sculpt either on a desktop, or you can put a VR headset, right at the Oculus Quest. It should come with the new Meta Quest as well. So you can sculpt as if it was clay, but the philosophy is that we removed a lot of technical constraints. If you're into 3D, you may know that you have to think about the polygons, the topology, etc. So if you want to add a shape, you have to cut first. Here it's not the case. It's based on what we call sign distance field, which means voxel based. So it's really based on the volume. So you can add or remove volume without even thinking about it. This is Yeah, I'm a really bad modeler and I have lots of fun with it. So I think if I can do something with this, anyone can, especially you, Anna.
Yeah, of course, I'm completely lame for modeling, actually.
So
I
you
don't
will
know.
love it.
I always. I actually tried Modeler before. I have a VR headset, so I was already like, of course, I was in a part of the beta because I must be in every beta that I can get in. So I was in there as well, and I really enjoyed it, to be honest. So I can do like stuff with it, but I have to do it more. So that is my 2023 resolution.
Actually, I have a question from Ty, and that's funny because I got exactly the same question at the live stream 3 weeks ago. So you can walk around your home modeling in VR. So funny enough, the answer is yes, because there was a, I think it's David Campbell, one of the developer who changed some settings to expand the space you can before it was like I don't know 4x4, so which was already good, and he said okay, no, in theory I can go further. So he took it and it was a Wi-Fi connection, so he went and he was like pressing to paint and advancing in his house with the map, and he grabs himself and he went outside of his house and get it back in, etc. So yeah, you can home model, or you can almost think about modeling your house at the one-to-one scale, but good luck with that.
I already see myself like tripping over my dogs.
Yeah, you can try. Okay, no, Anna, it's time to leave.
Oh no!
This is sad. This is a sad moment, I know, but we have to say goodbye to all these nice people who are listening to us. That was cool, actually. Thanks a lot. You showed a lot of stuff. I really hope you guys liked it and that you are going to publish everywhere some creations, and that it was showing you the value of the Adobe Substance 3D collection. Lots of stuff. So thank you, Anna. Thank you, everyone. And well, stay tuned. There is more stuff coming on Adobe Live. So see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.